Assume knowledge. In the last video, we looked at paragraph and tab marks. Today, we're looking at something that affects every protocol, report, and SOP that you write, special characters. The difference between a document that looks audit ready and one that looks like it was thrown together often comes down to these small details. Wrong characters are like spelling mistakes. An auditor may not consciously flag them, but they create an impression. An impression matters when someone is deciding how carefully to check the rest of your work. I'm David, and this is Assume Knowledge. The documentation skills nobody ever actually taught validation and QA professionals. Here's an example. This is a typical line you might find in an OQ protocol or an equipment specification. The operating range is 20 to 25 degrees C as specified in the 2020 to 2025 revision of the SOP. You see here I've got the paragraph marks turned on, so maybe it'll be clearer if I just turn them off. Now, if you have a look at that, there's nothing obviously wrong, but look more carefully. That's a hyphen between 20 and 25, not a dash. Also, a degree symbol would look more professional than typing degree C or DEGC in full every time. These are the kinds of details that separate a document that looks controlled from one that looks careless. And in a regulated environment, careless-looking documents invite closer scrutiny. Here's how to fix them and how to get them right first time. The one I get asked about most is the degree symbol. People type the number 0 or the letter O or just write DEG because they don't know how to get the real symbol. In a temperature critical protocol, this is definitely worth getting right every time. Here's how. Let's put it where we want it. So we hold down the Alt key, and then on the numeric keypad, it's 0176. Release the Alt, and there you go. Looks very professional instead of DEG or DEG. A couple of things to note. This only works with the numeric keypad on the right of your keyboard, not the numeric keys along the top. And make sure numlock is on. If you're on a laptop without a numeric keypad, use Insert Symbol from the top menu. I'll show you this in a moment. Next, dashes. Most people use a hyphen for everything. That's the minus sign on the top row of numbers. But there are actually 3 different characters, and in validation documentation, ranges show up constantly. Acceptance criteria, temperature limits, revision periods, so it's worth getting this one right. The hyphen, as we mentioned, is for joining words like risk-based or audit-ready. Now I can show you this. That's the hyphen. If I go Alt 0150, you can see that that's longer, which is professional. That's how it should be. It's subtle, but the kind of subtle an experienced reviewer notices without quite knowing why. The EM dash is longer still, used to separate a thought in a sentence. Like this. That's the one there, without spaces either side, and it works well in deviation narratives or investigation reports where you're explaining reasoning. And you get that with Alt 0151. release the Alt. There you go. And that's the one that I've just made. If it's used carefully, it reads as precise and controlled. Overused, even in a report, it becomes distracting. Next one is the ellipsis, which is 3 dots. Comes up more than you'd think, especially when referencing a longer clause from an SOP or referring back to, e.g. if I do that there to 3, that actually does it automatically. So if I look at that now, it's just one character, dot, dot, dot. Okay, I've typed in 3 dots, but it actually automatically converts it to an ellipsis, which is one character. It's useful to know the character exists, especially when pasting text from another source, like an old protocol or a supplier document. 2 more that come up regularly are copyright and registered, particularly if you're referencing named equipment, software, or proprietary methods in a URS or a validation report. The first one, let's do the copyright symbol. It's Alt-0169. There you go. And the next one is the registered trademark, which is Alt-0174. It's small there, but you can see it. Also, something that not a lot of people know is Word can do this automatically. If I go the open left bracket and type small c and then close left bracket, there you go. It's the C, copyright. If I do the same for the registered trademark, I open bracket, R, close bracket. Very handy to know. It just saves you having to go up to the insert symbol. Curly quotes. I'm just going to mention this here. Certainly in English, we use this between this and this. I think particularly in the UK, we're all used to using those double quotes. To fix this, you just delete the affected text and retype the quotes. Or you could use find and replace. I'll cover this in a future video, including how to use it safely across a long protocol without breaking your formatting. Now, if you're on a laptop without a numeric keypad, or you just can't remember the alt codes, here's the alternative. Click Insert on the top menu, which we've got there, and click on Symbol. You can either click on the arrow or the actual arrow, and you can select anything. It's every possible symbol, I think, that is available in Windows. Yeah, you've got common ones there, which are useful. That one, go Insert. There you go. You can also set a shortcut key from here for any character you use regularly. So if I do that, more symbols, shortcut key. What you can do is you can specify the shortcut and assign a key to it. So it's just going to save you quite a bit of time. So to recap, the characters worth knowing for validation documents. I'm just going to paste these here. Let's go down. degree symbol, Alt-0176, EN for November, dash, Alt plus 0150, EM dash, which is the longer one, for deviation narratives and investigation reports, and the ellipsis, which is Alt 0133 for referencing clauses in SOPs. Copyright and registered, Alt 0169 and Alt 0174, or as I said, you can do it by putting the C or R within ordinary brackets. I'll also put these codes in the video description so you can refer back to them next time. These are small things, but they're the difference between a document that reads as controlled and one that reads as thrown together. And when an auditor is deciding how closely to look at your validation package, that impression matters. If this was useful, please subscribe. I put out regular videos on documentation and Excel word skills that validation and QA professionals are expected to have, but were never actually taught. I'm David, this is Assumed Knowledge. See you in the next one.